Did y'all really get any damn sleep? Oh, jeez. That's all I want to know. Let's tag some of your people. Tell them to come on. It's one of those days. I said I'd do a morning drive today. I'm over here listening to some Luther. Nothing hurts as bad as when you see you gave up too easily. Yes, I remember spending all my time on a dream that kept me wishing that you could be mine. Yeah. And I was hoping there could one day be chance for me to wait for love that you've been missing. Sometimes love takes a long time, and wait for love, and you're gonna get your chance to love. Wait for love. There we go. I tagged a few people, but y'all know I'm driving, so if y'all could be so kind as to tag your favorite somebody and let them know Six is doing a morning drive. And I remember spending all my time on a dream that kept me wishing that you could be mine. Yes, come through, Luther. Now y'all know I don't have the music up because you know old Petty Book ain't gonna let me do nothing. Yes, wait for love, shine good to the morning. Yes, hello. Yes, y'all gonna get the vocal cords scratchy and all first thing in the morning singing some Luther. Wait for love. But I ain't mad though. I ain't mad because you know that's what I give. That's what I give. Wait for love. What up though? Michelle, you frozen? Is it me? Am I frozen? Oh no, I'm back. Okay. Girl, yes, y'all should have been with us late nighters last night. Michelle and I was having a ball, and the conversation was hilarious, okay? I'm still tripping on as long as you don't get wigs from Nay to L-I-E. What in the world? Okay. Child, I know it's early morning, and look here, I'm doing the best I can with what I got today, okay? Let me just let y'all know that now. Girl, I'm pissed over this bullshit. Okay, well, look. I'm going to put some stuff in perspective. I'm going to give you a little bit of, maybe you can understand where he coming from type of deal. That's what I'm going to give you. Now, yesterday, I still stand in what I say. When I said what I said when I went live last night and we were talking about it, I still feel as if that the G.I. Jane joke was not the reason that made him get up there. Like that was too that was calm for Chris Rock. That was calm, okay? Good to the morning, Jan. Yes. I legit feel bad for Chris because they really making him a bad guy. Yes, and let's talk about that because you know they said that this is that they had to edit a lot of Chris stuff beforehand and some years ago in regards to Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King having their little stuff together. Remember when they kept saying that them two were sleeping together and stuff like that? So they've been posting a lot of stuff. Good to the morning. Yes, Jen, good to the morning. They have been posting a lot of stuff about, some occurrences with Chris, but let me just go right into the whole thing. So from what I got from my source, on the back end, 4 or 5 years ago, y'all remember, and Sissy posted the video because I was looking for the video so I could go live about it and stuff like that, and we can show the video. But Sissy already had posted the video, so I basically was telling everybody to take a look at that, because that is what they were talking about as the reason that caused Will to jump up there. But it's more to it. So it's more to it. So about 4 or 5 years ago, Chris was at the time going to do the Oscars when everybody was trying to boycott the Oscars, because remember the hashtag, the Oscars so white. And Jada Pinkett Smith was one of the ones who was asking Chris Rock to not go get that bag and to boycott the Oscars, because there was not a lot of diversity in the winners of the Oscars. Okay, so of course he made a joke about it too, because it really did happen. Like, literally, she was trying to prevent him from going to get the bag. And, he was like, nah, I'm still going to do it. He had some backing and stuff from Dave Chappelle saying, no, you should go ahead and do so, and da-da-da-da-da. So, when he ended up saying what he said on the Oscars that year, he basically was like, and that's kind of crazy that she would ask me not to do it when she wasn't even invited. She was boycotting something that she wasn't even invited to. Oh, Chris. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but that started a lot of commotion and stuff. And even though Jada was on the Red Table Talk talking about some, Chris got to do what he got to do. No, I'm not mad at Chris and da-da-da-da-da. She really was mad. And that propelled Will Smith to tell him, keep my wife's name out of your mouth, even back then, okay? Even back then. So that was some of the reason why he got up there and smacked the shit out of Chris, okay? Good morning, everybody that's coming in. Hey, Erica. Hey. Let me see, but Oprah and Gail were lovers. So there's that. I cannot. Good to the morning. He said something like Jada wasn't invited, so her boycotting is not, it's not what? What is that? It's not move. Like, basically, how you gonna boycott something you wasn't invited to? That's basically what it was saying. Okay. And which I get it, but it was true. Look, I'm not denying it, Michelle. Me and you on the same team, okay? I'm not denying that, okay? But I do want to give everybody the gist of everything. So just bear with me, and I'm breaking it down for you guys this early morning, okay? Y'all got to get up early in the morning. So now that was some of the reason why, because he already had threatened Chris and told him, you can talk with whoever you want, but don't talk about my wife. Now, this thing about the alopecia and stuff like that, I truly do not believe that was the downfall to it. I really do believe that Jada was still pissed off from 4 or 5 years ago, okay? Will seen Chris so many times. They in the same circle. Why he ain't been checked him before? Fuck out of here, right? Because he had plenty of opportunities to do so. Good morning, Sarah. Welcome. And I agree. He's seen Chris plenty of times. Chris ain't been hiding. And everybody know that Chris, has those jokes that pushes the envelope. But like I always tell y'all guys, like, comedy is the one thing you really, if you're old school, you really don't have no rules in the game of comedy. You don't have anything to say about comedy, except for if you got specifics that you don't want to talk about. Like I was telling y'all last night that guy Tori's brother got his brother was saying that rape is off limit. He don't talk about rape in his comedy skits. I said that's very hurtful. He explained it. He broke it down. So some people do have specific stuff that they will not talk about, but Chris is not that person, and y'all know it. Y'all know Chris pushes the envelope. So now, even with this being said, let's talk about this so-called speech that he gave last night when he won for an Oscar. Now, I wanna make sure that y'all understand had this would have been anybody else up there saying something about Jada, because I did post a skit where Regina King mentioned something about Will coming up on the stage with the rest of the singles because Jada vouched for you. Yeah, now that was that joke, but didn't nobody come after Regina King for saying something like that? And I get it. It technically wasn't something that they were talking about in regards to Jada's head, but they were still the butt of the jokes, if you understand where I'm coming from. Good morning, Justine. Will made insulting jokes on Fresh Prince about his family. He has, and let me tell y'all something, and I'm gonna read Sean's thing too. He's told a lot in that book he had out, because I told y'all I listened to the book on Audibles. He was telling a lot, and some of the stuff was stuff that we have heard before, and but for the most part he told a lot of personal stuff. None of the jokes are bad, right? But I think Will and Jada have been the butt of so many jokes they fed up with it. And that's the whole thing. The slap is not justified. I'm just saying they tired, right? And that brings us to Will ain't Hancock. Fuck out of here. Pun intended. And that brings us to the speech. Good morning, Renee. Good to the morning. Where'd you run? I don't know, ma'am. She probably sleep. Okay, so let's talk about this speech that he gave when he won his Oscar. Now, that was the whole gist of everything. Y'all know y'all ain't seen Jada at an Oscar ceremony in I don't know how many years, especially since 4 or 5 years ago when she was talking about boycotting. But all of a sudden, your husband getting an award, and bada boom, bada bing, you right there with him, right? On this occasion. So I'm just saying, let's put some stuff in perspective. Now, in his speech, he was talking about how he felt honored to protect. And I don't remember their names, so bear with me. But the people who played the characters in the movie King Richard, the wife and the 2 kids, how he was able to protect her. Now, I don't know if y'all know the backstory about that, but she was getting paid way low from what everybody else was getting paid. The mother of the King Richard movie. And Will vouched for her and basically, you know, had a discussion where they gave her more money and gave more money to more of the co-stars on the set because of Will. And she came on the Breakfast Club and was talking about it as well. And it was really deep. And I think that was really, you know, a stand-up move on his behalf. Because he could have just been like, you know, forget everybody else, you know, you negotiate what you negotiate or your manager negotiates for you. But he was just like, nah, that's not gonna happen. Not for us. That's not what it is. Now, I commend him for doing something like that, and she speaks on it a little bit thorough and goes into the whole story. But he also says that King Richard was a protector. He was a protector of his family because so many things have been said about him and his family, and he's tired. Okay, so I feel like that was some kind of subliminal about what he was saying in regards to his family being the butt of all these jokes, the entanglement jokes and stuff like that. Will telling his personal business and stuff in this book, putting out more information that people was already talking about cancel the Smiths because they was tired of that. Right, exactly, because you're boycotting. Got it. Yep. So, man, perfect D's nuts. So, hey, Trouble T. So, in addition to all that, he also said that, you know, Denzel had a talk to him after the slapperization. And that, you know, he was saying, you know, the higher up you are, the more the devil is trying to take you down. To some degree, that is the truth. Like, you know, everybody want to see you get your accolades, but then at some point, people want to see when you fall. Like, you know what I'm saying? People want to make it harder for you to stay at the top and continue your great success. And for him, it has never really been any situations that made Will look bad, except for the so-called entanglement. Okay, that whole shebang bang. And a lot of people, let me tell y'all this too, a lot of people is out here trashing Jada. Okay, people are really more so throwing the book at Jada. Good morning, Dr. J. Throwing the book at Jada because they really do believe that all of this mess with her in this entanglement is the root to the evil. Basically, they're saying like she's the root to the evil of all of this, because now it's making him act out and do all of this other stuff. But everybody know that they have talked about his kids, how his kids are different, talked about this entanglement, and discussed things in regards to him and his book of what he was saying as well. So a lot of people like Tyrese and, you know, Denzel, even Diddy went live, and he didn't say much from what he said before, but he did go live and he mentioned, you know, a little bit of something about, you know, it's all love, it's all love. Okay, it's all love, but Will out here smacking people. Oh, also, just let me say this too. He did make a post. Jaden made a post on his Instagram saying like, this is how we do it, and his dad's speech really brought him to tears. And then Will had posted, because Trouble T sent me some deets on that, which I had already seen too, that Will was like, you know, you can't bring Philly, and I forgot wherever Jada ass is from, you know, to nowhere. You know, you can't bring us nowhere. It's always some stuff. So my whole thing is, were you going to the Oscars to start some stuff? Like, it's kind of like you was waiting on having some drama occur. Diddy ain't no count. As they should. Good morning, Jerome. Yes, Michelle was just asking where you are. How he gonna say devil and he commits adultery? What we doing? Well, let the record reflect that he said he didn't commit adultery. He said him and Jada was broken up. They was separated, okay? So she was doing her thing, he was doing his. You better not twist up Will Smith words. No ma'am, no ma'am, okay? Morning, it's too early, come back in 30. Diddy don't count. He sucker slapped him. Yes, he did. He did. Why ain't go Philly on August? He did not. Because, you know, what would be the reason of him trying to go Philly on August? Jada was the one, you know, playing around with her son's friends. Why he need to go ham? Why he need to go Philly on August when they wasn't even together? And Jada was over there being a whole ass hoe. Being a hoe about her messing with her son's friend. Why Jada? Why Will gotta pick up the pieces on that? I'm just saying. I just don't. I'm trying to be equally yoked with this whole thing, because I told y'all yesterday when I went live last night, I really did not believe that it was that joke that propelled the whole thing, like literally. And my thing is this: if you are so tired of all these so-called jokes and stuff that everybody is, you know, putting forth on your family, why you ain't going around slapping everybody else? Why did it have to be Chris Rock? Why? It still doesn't make sense to me personally. I'm just saying. But, you know, for them, they're explaining that it was a buildup of things to come, and that it was in the making. That's what Tyrese said. This was in the making. I just don't get it. Okay. Hey, good morning, Rosie. And let me see what y'all saying. Hold on a memento. They got construction over here. I'm trying to make sure I ain't crashing. I'm about to get to this red light so I can read y'all comments. And let's see what you say. What you say? Okay. Okay, they was still married. They was still married, but they were separated. Why you going live before my alarm goes off? I thought you would enjoy a morning live. See, it's no pleasing you, Jerron. Why he ain't go for... Okay, y'all read that. He's a Jussie Smollett. Okay, Michelle could have, and we don't know it. They were never on TV together since then, were they? No, they were out of sight, doing their separation. So they weren't, showing each other on their social media and pictures and stuff together. They weren't together like that. Oh Lord. All right, let's see. Definitely didn't. I assure you, you wasn't looking okay. All right, so Jada better not ever wear a wig. And she better be the face of alopecia awareness. I don't give a fuck. And you know what? And a lot of people are saying that too. I agree, because if this is the reason why, because of the G.I. Jane joke, then you better be the spokesperson after all of this, because I'm here to tell y'all this. You know that the Oscars put out a post on social media saying they do not condone violence. This is not what their establishment is for, yada, yada, yada. And the police department issued something as well, stating that, Chris Rock has not contacted them to file a report, but they are aware of the incident that took place. Hold on. And that at any point in time when he is ready to do so, they will be willing and waiting, honey. They be willing and waiting. So hold on. So crazy. Hold on, y'all, because I'm backing in. And let me just tell y'all might mess up on the Wi-Fi because I'm getting to the house. So hold on. All right. Right. Because Chris was not here. Good morning. Good to the morning. She has been talking about alopecia for a while. She has been on her platform. Yes. And all I'm saying is Lupita's facial expression won the Oscar. Yes, Lupita was like... Oh. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, okay? Chris wasn't wrong. I don't even care about the backstory. He's a fucking comedian. You know what? And we can indulge in that a little bit more, because I've told you guys that I always believe nothing is off topic when it comes to being a comedian. That's your job. That's your job, to talk about any and everybody as a comedian and make it funny. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what people go to comedy shows and stuff for. That's why people love to see Dave Chappelle and Eddie Murphy, Cat Williams, because they're going to talk about stuff. And even though it might be a touchy topic, they're going to find a way to make you laugh through it. So I am one of the old schoolers. You can't come in here and tell me what I can and cannot talk about as a comedian. Now, I will say this as well. And we had this discussion last night, that I feel to some degree they are going to start to censor people in regards to what they are able to say. So if you're going to be the host of the Oscars, we need your jokes. We need to see your jokes. We want to know what you're going to be saying. Let's take a look at it. And anything that they find will be the remote, the tiniest little things that they think will be sensitive to this new world order. They're going to shut it down. And then you're going to see that trickle over to some of your other favorite sitcoms and stuff like that might be a little bit more raunchier content. They're going to start shutting it down over there. And I gave a prime example of this as in regard to Saturday Night Live and how they talk about everybody. And now they're going to be changing up the skits and stuff because now it's going to always put people in the hot seat. Chris lived by the street code. I respected Chris not filing no police report, and I hope him and Will can have a conversation in which he apologized. And if he does, Sean, he needs to apologize in front of everybody because he slapped the mess out of him in front of everybody. If you're gonna apologize for what you did, sir, don't have no back conversation. You need to take it to the front because that was humiliating. That was embarrassing, and he couldn't even do like when he got smacked. He was just like, I don't believe it. Like his whole facial expression was sitting up there like, I don't believe Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Like basically that's what it was. Like he had to come to grips that he just got pimp smacked on stage. Richard Pryor turning in his grave. I'm trying to tell y'all, here comes the stand-up comedy prenup. Exactly, Jen. People gonna want to know what's on your itinerary. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing when I was telling you guys about the Super Bowl and Eminem taking a knee. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let them tell it that NFL, they knew he was gonna take a knee. They didn't say nothing about it. They was cool with it or whatever. But do y'all really think that Eminem gave a damn whether or not they knew or not? He was going to do it anyway. That's just Eminem's character. So to some degree, I just think that they're going to start to censor a lot of the shows and stuff like that about about how they're going to be presenting themselves on their platform. Because the Oscars is supposed to, it's getting dark in here. Hold on, y'all. The Oscars is supposed to be all about, elegance and class and all of that jazz, upscale, We're not here for the ratchet. It's not what we do, right? Okay. Let me get in, girl. It's cold out here. Hold on a minute. Okay. Police could charge Will without Chris asking them to. They saw the video. Yep, they saw the video. They could do it. So what Chris said wasn't humiliating. To me, no, it wasn't. It wasn't humiliating. And like I said too, I'm one of the old school, so nothing is off limits when you are in comedy. I mean, y'all be sitting up there talking about one leg Willie. And how Willie be, getting around for his day to day. We talk about the, in living color, never underestimating the capabilities of the handicap. That was funny as hell. We talked about stuff that's way more serious than her alopecia. I'm just saying. I'm being real. We talked about way more stuff than alopecia. Okay, way more worse stuff than the skin condition that causes you to lose your hair. Like seriously, that was not nothing for nobody. And I get it because a lot of people is on social media talking about something. Well, if you was talking about my wife like that, I'll get up and smack you too. Okay, well then a lot of people in all the comedy clubs need to be getting up smacking the shit out of the people that be telling these jokes about other stuff too. That's what you trying to tell me. That you just ready to start getting up and Wayne Brady smack a bitch on anything. That's what you trying to tell me. But he wasn't in comedy setting. There's a time and a place. He was in comedy setting. He was doing his job as a host. He tells jokes. So make it make sense, Renee. I think there are things that we don't know. Yeah, I just spilled that tea, Dr. J. I told that first. So... I just think that to some degree, this is going to change stuff for the Smiths. And I wouldn't even be surprised if this changes his money. Now, he just won an Oscar, which means you bring more money to the plate. But is people going to start having you on their platforms? That's going to be the question. Yeah, we can agree to disagree, Renee. I still stand 10 toes down on what I said in regards to comedy. I really do. I'll never sway from that. I've always said comedy is supposed to be the one topic where you get to make jokes about any and everybody. That's the one topic that you get to make jokes about. And you can't tell me that I can't talk about one-eyed Willie, one-leg Jerome, or anybody with a bald head. You can't tell me that. I'm going to talk about them. Hey, Karen, good to the morning. I was filling everybody in on the situation with Will Smith and the backstory of the slapperization. So I'm at the part where I'm, getting ready to get off in a few because I've already talked about it. We discussed the police report, and the police is very, caught wind of the video and stuff. And if Chris Rock decides that he wants to file charges, they'll be, there to help and assist in any way. We also discussed some of the things. We decoded the speech that Will said when he accepted his Oscar. And I also gave y'all some more information on, what I do believe may occur further on down the line if this continues to be a problem, about how people will start to censor you on their platforms. They want to know what it is that you're going to be saying as a comedian. What are you going to be saying? Or if you're doing skits and jokes and stuff like that, they want to know up front what's going on before they allow you to do it. And they're going to nitpick the hell out of whatever it is that they feel may be offensive to the viewers. Absolutely not. Okay. Every comedian host of a show does the same thing. Clown. Change the rules. Chris don't need to apologize for shit. Yeah, I don't think that he should apologize for it. And let me tell y'all something. Any comedian that tells you in the beginning, this is not that bad, I'm gonna go light, they going light for a reason. And that's why I was trying to tell you guys what was occurring 4 to 5 years ago as to why it was a reason why he took the joke a little bit light. Like, he could have went harder than that on them Smiths. Okay, it's a lot to talk about. I'm just saying. Do you think the Academy will take the Oscar away from Will? No, I don't think that they would do that. Because they didn't even hold his ass out when he got slapped. Where was security? Security. Where was security at when Will Smith got up on stage? He pulled a Kanye and smacked him. He didn't get escorted out. He didn't get, arrested then on site. Like, nothing happened to him. And y'all allowed him to come and win an Oscar and give an acceptance speech. Where did they do this at? So, I'm just saying. I agree there are no limits to comedy, but you have to be ready for the consequences. Everybody who tells a joke about anybody's mama is going to have a consequence. That's what Joneses is. If I'm jonesing with you, or we playing the dozens, or me and you then got into it, ain't nothing off limits when I'm coming for your throat. Whether I'm talking about your mama being black as tar and nobody can see her on the ground, or whether I'm seeing your mama so dirty that the doggone bathwater looks like black crayon. Like, it don't matter. Whatever I say, it's going to make sure I put needles in you. You're going to feel some type of way. That's the whole purpose of it. Well, catch me outside then and catch these hands. But what you not gonna do is you not gonna come up here and think. And I told everybody this last night that I was really surprised how Chris held back. Because had that would have been me on stage and he would have smacked me, y'all would have got a shot. I would have been flipping Will's ass from the left stage to the right stage and down the middle of the walkway. You heard me? Like, Detroit and Philly would have been going at it. Y'all would have been having to say, put up the little, this program has been interrupted because everything would have been disbarred at that time. He held his composure and kept the show going despite being slapped. Now that takes courage. That right there I commend him on, because I could never do nothing like that. I'm sorry. I think, yeah, well, y'all already know what y'all get with Chris. I don't know why y'all keep saying there's a time and a place for jokes, because he's a comedian. Y'all know he raunchy with his comedy, and obviously everybody keeps liking him. He keeps coming back. And y'all wouldn't let Kevin Hart be the host of the doggone Oscars because of some joke from 500 million years ago that y'all dug up on him. So we can't seem to get nobody who is up here that ain't got no scars on them or got no dirt on them from years ago, because y'all pull up everything. Y'all pull up everything on anybody, making it hard for anybody in the comedian world to be the host of the Oscars. That's why they keep going with Chris behind. Because y'all know what y'all gonna get with him. I'm just saying, I'm keeping it real with that. Kevin Hart was supposed to be the host of the Oscars the last time. And that fell through. So that would have been safe because, you know, he don't really be doing nothing too raunchy where he be embarrassing folks and saying nothing. He say a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But it don't be nothing like Chris. Isn't Chris the one that did the entire documentary? What documentary? Why you think they picked a comedian to host? Because they want people to laugh and be hyped. The Oscars is boring, y'all. First and foremost, let me sit down. Because y'all trying me today. I don't know what the hell. What's going on? What's really good? Hold on. Okay. Everybody know that the Oscars is boring as hell. And ain't nobody I know that can sit through the Oscars from the beginning to the end. So they have comedians that host the Oscars to make y'all laugh and be, you know, kind of hyped with what's to come. But the Oscars is boring. I don't even watch the Oscars. I'm going to tell y'all that now. I don't, in the beginning, years ago, probably back in the 80s when the Oscars used to come on, I would, you know, take a gander at it, or I would just wait for certain stuff to come on for me to watch it. But I ain't never watched the Oscars from beginning to the end. That boring stuff will put me to sleep 10 times over. So you got to tell me some jokes in order for me to be tuned in for the beginning. It's the beginning. Maybe I'll come back in the middle and maybe towards the end. But that's it. Other than that, I don't care about nothing around the world, down the street, up the block. I don't care about none of that. I got my specifics that I want to see if they're going to win. If they don't win, then I'm out. Most of the time, we don't win. I'm just saying. That was the whole purpose of boycott the Oscars because the Oscars was so white. Remember, that's what they were doing 45 years ago. So, isn't Chris the one that did the entire documentary about black women's hair? Yep, he sure did. He sure did. It used to be an honorary show where the best comedians picked a person to roast. These shows pick comedians as hosts for a reason. Exactly. Okay, y'all laughing at me? Don't laugh at me. I'm just being honest. Chris was thinking with his millionaire mind. And you know what? And that's fine. He still went really light on Jada in regards. Like, he could have said anything else. But he said he waiting on G.I. Jane too. Okay. And if y'all take a look at the video, Will Smith was laughing at it at first. It wasn't until they showed Jada's face with her rolling her eyes like this about what Chris said that ended up being a whole different story. Let that have been anybody else up there other than Chris saying a joke like that, and everybody would have still been on a laughing tip. You wouldn't have seen, like, I really do believe that if Jada wasn't sitting up there rolling her eyes about it, he would have never got up there and did that. Honest to God, I swear to God, he would have been sitting back laughing because he started off laughing at first. Chris made a joke about Will first. That was okay. That was fine. Oh, okay, so Will, you good. Okay. Here's a little light one for you, Jada. And you got mad. Girl, bye. I'm glad Chris didn't go Brooklyn on Will. Yeah. Hey, good morning, Miss Ann. Chris is a light work, modern day Richard Pryor, and that would think, and the world think Kevin Hart isn't funny. So what do people want? I don't know what people want. I don't want mediocre jokes. Like when Kevin first came on, I'm gonna tell y'all the God truth. I used to like Kevin Hart. I used to like Kevin Hart because he talked about his family. That was funny to me. You know, we all got those specific people in our family that make you talk about them. Where it's cousin Paul and he got these overalls and he wear them all the way up to his chin and you see his nut sacks print right through the bottom of his pants. Like anything. Like it was his dad that got me. His dad was funny to me. Okay? His brother or cousin, whoever was in jail, when he got out, that was funny. To see people coming out of jail thinking that stuff was still the same when they went in. Like, that's funny. That's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that for Kevin was funny. When he started getting off into all the rest of the stuff, that's when I checked out. Like, it really wasn't funny to me. That wasn't it. I just like, okay, it's time to move on. So for me, it's certain things that get me that is hilarious with certain comedians. You know, you get with Eddie Murphy, he roasts you about anything. You know what I'm saying? His brother was the same way. Like, it was a no holds barred with some of the older comedians. Nothing was off limit, whether you was fat, whether you was short, whether you was, you know, mentally ill or retarded or whatever they wanted to talk about. They talked about it, and that's what it was. If you crying about it, then they capping on you for crying about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how the comedians worked back in the day. So I don't understand why people are so shocked about certain things that come out of comedians' mouths nowadays. Like, I don't get it. They had to hire comedians to humor up the ceremony. Yes. Could white comedian gave that same joke. Yup. And Will would have sat there and not did a doggone thing. He defended his wife. Was he wrong? No, he wasn't. But you gonna defend your uncle with the overalls that show his nutsack when we talk about him in the comedy club? You gonna defend One-Eye Willie when we talk about how he can't see at night and he always think it's 2 or 3 people in the kitchen when it's really just him? Like, come on, Renee. Like, you gonna be slapping everybody about them talking about anybody in your family? You gonna be mad when they talk about your mom and stuff like that? Like, that's what comedy is. I don't get why just because it was his wife, ooh, we talk about way worse things than that. We can't just go around slapping folks, though. I agree, and I think that was highly disrespectful. I think that was highly disrespectful. And we all are going to agree to disagree. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have your own perspective on it. I know what works for me. I've been in plenty of comedy clubs. Sometimes I'm fortunate enough to sit up in the front. Some of that stuff, you know, people would never want to sit up in the front at a comedy club because you're open to being talked about. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it doesn't bother me. Whether you're talking about my outfits or anything, it wouldn't bother me because I know where I'm at. I know who I'm going to see. There's a possibility I could be the butt of the joke. Okay? So I just think to some degree, people need to kind of reserve themselves a little bit whenever they are on stage and they're having their comedy skit, doing whatever. I don't see the presidents, then you know Saturday Night Live talk about all of the dang on presidents. I don't see none of them presidents going on Saturday Night Live set trying to smack nobody like Wayne Brady. Like, that's crazy. Ain't nobody waiting for him outside. Because they know whatever they say or do is going to be a skit on Saturday Night Live, and they're going to wear it in the ground. Okay, so you felt like it was disrespectful for what he said. Okay. So you don't be thinking that none of the other comedians are hella disrespectful for some of the stuff that they say? I mean, I can pull up a whole bunch of stuff that Eddie Murphy done said about people, or, you know, Red Fox done said. You don't think none of that was hella disrespectful either? And they talk about your mama. They talk about your mama. They talk about people dead. They talk about everybody. So you don't think none of that is disrespectful either? But this one time that Chris talked about Jada being G.I. Jane, that was hella disrespectful. People are killing themselves daily for shaming. People are too sensitive when it comes to comedy. I really believe that. I probably don't sit in the front row at comedy clubs. I know the vibes. Will was wrong. I wish Chris would have went Brooklyn on his ass. And if he did, everybody would have thought Chris was wrong. Exactly. People don't know what they want unless they change the basics of comedy. It is what it is. Fuck you and your mama. Only Michelle. I'm just saying, if you, I mean, let's be real. They didn't go to the Oscars the last time around because they were so-called boycotting the Oscars. So Chris Rock said something about them last time, right? So when is whatever they bring up, whatever is going on in the world, when is it not appropriate to talk about it? And where's the list? And do you think that everybody should be like having a list of what we said in here, like a prenup, in order for them to perform as a comedian? And I'm not talking about nobody else. I'm talking about strictly about comedians. Do you think that there should be some kind of itinerary or list or something of do's and don'ts? And then let me know if you're going to be going to any comedy shows with these do's and don'ts, and Cat Williams or Eddie Murphy show up and they not telling you no funny ass jokes because they can't talk about certain stuff. Let me know that. I got questions for y'all, since y'all got questions for me. Don't go to a show, right, where a comedian that you know talk shit is hosting. Your wife was boycotting, why you ain't keep that boycott energy? Right. Right, because she was boycotting it 45 years ago. But now that Will was up for getting an Oscar for, King Richard, she wanted to show up and showboat. Okay. Because they sniffed coke together, he didn't want Dave exposing his friends. The boycott stuff is from 2016. I don't know if they went last year. They didn't go last year, but as far as I know, nobody really went last year per se, because it was the pandemic, so a lot of people did virtual, and I didn't hear anything in regards to the Smiths being at the Oscars virtually last year. And then my thing is, most people only attend the Oscars when they know that they have their movie is up for the running. That's the only time, if you think about it. This is why it constantly changes and revolves, because most of the time they only attend when they know they may be up for the running for it. Hell no, a prenup for comedy. Kevin Hart ain't funny for a reason. It's a reason why people like Dave, Eddie, Richard, etc. Yes, I think having a difference of opinion is a healthy dialogue. Oh yeah, I agree with that. I'm not on here to try to change nobody's mind, because I really don't care. I really don't care what y'all think in regards to how comedy is. I value you guys' opinion, but I'm really truly old school when it comes to comedy. And I was brought up in the era of the Red Fox and, what's the other one that's very controversial? Like nobody, and when he passed, a lot of people was really, heartbroken about him as a comedian. What was his name? I forgot his name. That doggone quick, it was on the tip of my tongue. People need an invite to the Oscars. Yeah, they do need to be invited. But two, you got to have something going on with you in order to be invited too, right? With the Oscars, Karen. Michelle, I don't think Kevin Hart is that funny either, but him and Chris Rock are actually on tour together now. Cold-blooded. Look, I think it's healthy conversation to know where people stand, because I will say this, that today's society is very, very sensitive. A lot of people are doing more harm to themselves in regards to the uprising and bullying and stuff like that. But I still feel as if when it comes to comedy, there's a no hold barred on it. Let's see what you're saying. Hold on. If I boycott you in 1917, I'm gonna boycott you in 3017. That's what's wrong with us. Our boycotts expire. Yeah, I mean, look, let me tell y'all something. I stopped watching the Oscars when a lot of my faves would be in great movies and they would get passed over. Particularly Denzel Washington. He's been passed over plenty of times. So I've kind of checked out of the awards when I started being in the music business, and I was already getting, first class information that they automatically have preconceived notions of who they want to win in the first place. So it's not really something that, people, if they pass you up one year, then they'll make sure you get it the next year. That's how it is. And I think that's not how it should be. If I did a great film in 2017 and we have the award show in 2017, I expect to get an award in 2017 for that role that I played. Not for another movie that wasn't a hit, that wasn't that great the following year that I did, and then you gave me an award for that to kind of compensate for me not getting it when I should have got it the first time around. So it's a lot of pulling strings behind the scenes in regards to award shows, and I'm just not that into it like I used to be. Let's see. Don't talk about handicapped people, LGBTQ people, bald-headed people, etc. New comedy prenup. Okay, so we can still talk about your mama and one-eyed Larry, and we can still talk about the rest of the stuff, but we just can't talk about the handicap, the LGBTQ, and bald-headed people. Interesting. Yeah, I know Chris is still in the show. Will and Dave sniffed coke. I don't know about that. I've never heard of that. Who was somebody in here talking about that? I think somebody was talking about that. I'm not sure on that one, Miss Ann. I ain't got proof of that. Not all the stars from nominated movies get an invite. Oh, okay. Got you, Karen. The Breakfast Club is speaking about this on the radio and giving nice perspective. What are they saying, Dr. J? What are they saying? Are they saying, first of all, let me know if they are saying that Will Smith did right. That was what he was supposed to do, get up and smack the mess out of Chris Rock. Let me know if that's what they're saying. I'm interested to know that part. Or did they give Will Smith donkey of the day? Because that'll tell it all. That would tell it all. A lot of people seem to think that this was just something that ended up progressing to the slapperization, which is what I talked about in the beginning. I really don't think that that's it. My personal opinion, even though they're bringing that 45-year Oscar thing up from before, I really do think that it's because Will is tired of people talking about his family, period. I think that he just got to a place where they have had so much scrutiny that it has caused him to feel the load, the wrath of it, like he's tired of it. And that was the whole purpose of the speech when he gave about King Richard defending his family. That's where he stood. He said he was now put into a position now, not before, but he was now put into a position where he has been propelled to defend his family. And that's really what I believe is the reason for the smack. I don't think that it had nothing really to do with the joke of the matter per se. I think that, you're coming at me with another Smith family joke and I'm not having it. I think that's really what it boiled down to. My personal opinion about that. I think that Chris Camp going to convince him to press charges. You think so? Well, I know Jerron said in here earlier that that the police can press charges on behalf of Chris Rock even if he decides he does not want to do it. They really talking today. Wait for the memes though. The memes started last night. I post so many on the curb between late last night, about 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I was posting them all. But I guess we'll just have to see how things turn out. Again, if Will decides that he wants to apologize to Chris for it, he needs to do it publicly. And I think that people need to stop trying to censor comedians' jokes. It is what it is. It's always been like that since before they was even doing stand up in front of people. They was telling it on the record. So it's that old that people have been josing people on comedy scenes, whether it's in the clubs, whether it's on shows, award shows, whatever. That's what it's been. And I don't think that they should start to change that just because society is being a little bit insensitive about some of the stuff that they find hilarious about it. Go back and take a look at that clip, because Will Smith was laughing at that G.I. Jane joke at first. I truly believe that if Jada didn't have that face or expression, he wouldn't have did a doggone thing. He would have sit there and took that joke. Okay? So, with that being said, my cursors, I am up out of here. I hope everybody has a blessed and wonderful day. And as always, y'all can keep the discussion going. And I will see y'all in the chat. Peace.